I'm Alicia. I'm a mother. I'm a Black woman. I'm intelligent. I love to travel. I'm beautiful, and I speak my truth. Hey, you. Yeah, you listening to this podcast. Do you want to know how you can make your own? All you have to do is go to anchor.fm/start. Yep, it's that simple. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, guess what? Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. So that means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading you this ad. So make sure you go to anchor.fm/start to get started making your very own podcast. And then maybe I'll hear you saying this script. Have fun. Welcome back to episode 4 of This is 30, and I really hope you enjoyed the first 3 episodes. And it took a lot for me to come back for episode 4 because my anxiety just took over. Like, oh my goodness, I shared a lot. What are people going to think? So definitely chime in, let me know your thoughts. I would love to open up a dialogue with any of you who are listening for, just some discussion and just to let me know your thoughts so you can send me an email at alicia74@gmail.com. And remember, that's Alicia with 2 L's. So I definitely invite you to share with me your thoughts. But on to the next episode. So we talked a little bit about me subscribing to the idea of hypergamy, and we really kind of set the foundation that it kind of goes against the independent woman lifestyle. Although I do argue you shouldn't have to change yourself if you do want to be pampered and you want the finer things in life. I think you really have to kind of use your feminine energy, another thing that we talked about, to hone in the life that you want and manifest the life that you want, thus becoming more powerful and really just honing in your divine energy. So if anything I just said confused you, please go back and listen to episodes 1 to 3, and that'll catch you up until now. So I have experienced a lot of just transition in my life in general. So in every area of my life and my job, I've been growing more confident in my job. So I was actually promoted to assistant director where I work, and really been pushing myself to get comfortable with making more videos in my business because I'm very shy and uncomfortable making videos. I actually prefer podcasting because you can hear me, you can't really see me. And then just friendships, lots of transitions and friendships. I've had friends that's passed away, friends that are getting married and having babies, and really just kind of hitting that next arc in their life and a new chapter. And change can be hard for some people, especially women who are single, or women who really buy into the idea of having a biological clock or needing to get married and have kids by a certain time frame. And even though you probably have your best girlfriends tell you it's okay, sis, it's still somewhat kind of hard to bite the bullet and accept that. And it's okay. Like, it's definitely okay. I have those times where I feel like I'm not a factor anymore in some of my friends' lives. Especially after they get married. And it's like, of course, it sounds petty to say like, oh, you sound like you're in a competition with your friends and their partners, their husband, their wives, their whoever. And it's not that. In healthy friendships, typically, and there are different types of friendships, but I'm more so of a medium maintenance friend. You have your low maintenance friends where maybe you see each other annually at a conference, or you come together for the holidays or something. Then you have a medium maintenance friend where it's like we talk often, we travel, we hang out a lot, we're close. And then you have high maintenance friends, and it's like that level of friendship is almost like you're not sisters, but you're sisters. It's bonds that really can't be broken. It's a covenant. Those type of relationships are rare and very, very special. I've only been privileged enough to have one in my life. So if you have a covenant like that, a really deep bond, a sisterhood, hold on to that because it's rare and they are not easy to come by. So I see a lot of talk on Facebook just about women in general. So first we're going to talk about friendships and women. And I I wouldn't necessarily say a falling out recently, but a very healthy disagreement with a friend, because I'm very happy for my friends when they have partners and they're genuinely happy. But what I don't like is being blamed, like, or shoved aside, or like we're made to feel that you're shoved aside or this and that. So the situation was, with one of my friends, we would all hang out all the time, travel together, kick it together. Okay, so one of the friends has a new boyfriend now, so we barely see her. We get it, you in that honeymoon phase. We're not probably going to see you. But after about a year or so in, it's like, okay, so we start, now that things are opening up, do you want to hang out with us? Do you want to, travel here for my birthday? Do you want to go to brunch? Do you want to come to the bar? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And it was always met with I have to do this with him, or like, oh, my mother-in-law's party, or it was just always something. So I'm like, okay. So then eventually, I stopped asking. I'm one of those people that, if the answer or if the pattern has been the same, I'm not going to keep chancing it to see if the pattern is going to switch up. Typically if somebody wants to hang out with you, they'll reach out to you. So I know that there are some people out there who, even though you might not be able to come, you still would like an invitation. I don't have time to validate anybody's feelings. So that's kind of like a high maintenance thing there. So I'm like, I'm just not that level of friend where it's like, okay, if you've been telling me no all these times, I'm obviously just catching you at bad times. So why don't you reach out to me and let me know when you're available? That never happened. And, so then it kind of got to the point where, she kind of felt like we were leaving her out of stuff. And I'm like, which it definitely wasn't the case. But I just it got me to thinking. And I started seeing a lot of stories on Facebook about women who kind of feel pushed aside, where it's like, y'all become terrible friends when y'all got boyfriends. And I've seen that a lot. And, I wish I had the answer to why that is. I obviously can't answer it. I don't have anybody that I'm in a relationship with, but what I can say, I do think it's about balance, some kind of balance there, because you do, at the end of the day, you're with your mate, it's gonna be y'all, and I'm like, obviously you'll never choose between your friends and your husband or your wife or your whoever, because it's always gonna be your partner. You took vows, so it's not that, but I do think there does need to be a good balance of, your me time, your friends, catering to your husband, just wearing those different hats. So that's what I'll say on that. But into the episode, I've never been a person, I've always struggled with kind of like my identity, because I've struggled with not being able or being like boxed into a particular category. Like through college, I thought I wanted to be a teacher, maybe a lawyer. Like I switched my major a few different times. Like I couldn't really commit to one thing because I liked so many things. So it was kind of tough for me through college, and I ended up just getting like a just kind of broad degree in English. And then so my job history it's all over the place. So that I can definitely attest to that I just have different talents and I like to explore different things. And even with dating, I've never been able to fit into one box in my dating life either, because I like different things. And I'm like, it kind of got me thinking about this whole zodiac stuff, where some people really swear by it, where it's like all Geminis are this way or all Virgos are this way. First of all, I stay away from those people because they are basic human traits, and then everything isn't all inclusive. So you can have, everybody can be emotional or be freaky or be perfectionist or be whatever these traits are. However, some of these things in my life that I see as patterns, I do think there are some inexplicable things that only the way your stars are aligned can explain. So about Geminis, they say we're really nomadic. We move on one thing to the next. We like to have our hands in lots of different things. We're very multi-talented. We talk a lot, all of that. And there's been a pattern in my life. In school, I was told I talk too much. Look, I have a podcast now. I have a degree in English. I switched my major a lot because I couldn't commit to one thing. In my relationships, I find it hard to commit to one person. And it's not that I don't love that person, because people will argue you up and down and say, well, if you're cheating or if you are talking to multiple people, you don't love that one person. And I just don't think that's true. I think that you can connect with people in different ways, because you can't get your needs met by just one person. It's impossible. If it's possible for you, that's great. But I am very much so into developing a relationship that works for me. So for me, there are very much areas in my life that I still want to explore. And even though I do desire companionship, it's tough. It's tough because one, the type of dating pool that I'm in, I don't want to waste my time dating a bunch of people that things aren't just going to go anywhere. So I'm trying to be as direct as possible with, like, if I don't like you, sorry, it's just not going to work. I'm really trying to I've been trying to figure out that with me, kind of not being in a box in my dating life, why does that, my decisions or my choices, bother others? Or, you see a lot of women who vocalize their preferences but kind of throw backhanded shade at other women, where you'll see women say, the type of life that I want, I prefer to be classy and work hard for mine. And you see women like Jada or Ariana who just get on social media to do that. Like, listen, however you come to win is how you come to win. Now, obviously, win is subjective, but I do see two successful young ladies in their own right. And it's called working smarter, not harder. There are lots of people who have quit their day jobs, even with their kids, to make YouTube full-time, TikTok full-time. Who cares that they're not toiling away behind some desks doing it the old school way like you did? We are backhanding other women in the process of trying to lift ourselves up and make ourselves seem more classy, when you subconsciously think you're better than these women because you don't deem these women as classy. And it's like, what is classy? And it's like, it's carrying yourself one way, it's being poised, but you will get some women who think classy is just held and it's owned by just them and nobody else can have it. You would have some people argue that Cardi B isn't classy, and you would have some people argue that Cardi B is classy. Now, I would argue that she is a little rough around the edges, but she is a classy lady, because shoot, I'm not hobnobbing on the side of the pool with Anna Wintour, and I'm pretty sure with people of that status, you have to have some kind of something to be in their presence. So I would say on that level that she's one hell of a classy lady. Now think about it like that. So I asked the question, why are some women bothered by women's choices to be sexual or to hypersexualize themselves? Because let's be honest, and I'm going to speak my truth here, men enjoy us to be sexualized. Now, again, this conversation is not for those who are kind of devout, because we are taught as Christians, you're taught that your body is a temple, you shouldn't show it off. I am speaking in more of a worldly perspective, so I do want to set that foundation there. But there's been a lot of conversation about Chloe or Regine about doing too much. They're doing too much. They're hypersexualized. And it's like, why does it bother you? Think about it. What are we really saying here? Why does it bother us so much? Beyonce does the same thing, but you'll hear it. Well, Beyonce's more classy. Again, you have Janae Aiko singing about Pussy Fairy in a very melodic way. But then you have Cardi B or the City Girls or Meg Thee Stallion say the exact same thing, but just a little bit more direct. And that's trashy, that's garbage, that's this and that. What is the difference here? Oh, well, this is classy. Why is it when you have women who are a little bit more vulgar in their sexual, prowess, why is it that they're doing too much? Why are we trying to constantly put those black women in the box to really appease you? Why do we have to ask them to dim their light? It's working for them. It's like if being classy is working for you and making millions or whatever you deem to be successful is working for you, then how come what's working for them is deemed doing too much? So I really want you to ask yourself, why are you really bothered by people who are LGBTQ? I have people I know personally that just have the biggest issue, and I'm like, well, why are you upset? What makes you so upset? I don't understand. Like, I really don't understand. Or a woman is talking about, her body. So what? She's talking about it and referring to it in a vulgar way. It's her body. She's proud of it. Let her show it off. So think about why you're really uncomfortable with that. What are you like in your own sexual experience? Have you embraced your womanhood, or have you taken the time to see what it is that you do and don't like? Do you not even like sex? Or are you just a little bit more conservative with it? Is that what you prefer personally? Are you projecting what you would prefer onto people who may be a little more comfortable and free? So I end that conversation here. I definitely invite you to reach out to me and connect with me, but make sure you stay tuned for the next episode. And I really do hope you are enjoying This Is 30.